So, you think this phone is essential to you? Well, I'll tell you why it isn't, and you'll want to hear me out. So, just stick around till the end of this video. But before we get into all of that scoop, if you aren't familiar, Andy Rubin is considered the father of Android because he obviously made it or invented it in some way with the help of other people. And over the last couple of months, he's been teasing his own very new company called Essential. So you can go over to his Twitter and find a series of tweets where he's teased a bezel-less smartphone and stuff like that. So we were pretty excited for Essential to launch, and well, today is finally the day. The phone's out and you can probably see it on screen right now, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with how the design language of the phone is. It looks more of like a concept phone than a real-life phone, so well done to Essential and Andy Rubin for actually thinking of something like that. So let me brush you up on the specifications of this phone. This year seems to be the year for aspect ratios, and this phone too has a weird one. It's got a 19:10 aspect ratio screen on front, it's a 5.7-inch panel, and it's not entirely QHD, just a bit below QHD, but you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. On the front also you've got those weird looking arcs around the camera, which I don't know if I'm impressed by, but I guess that's how it distinguishes itself from the likes of the Galaxy S8 or the LG G6, which in my opinion look pretty similar. On the outside, this phone is kind of a beast too. It's got a titanium body which is scratch and bend resistant, so it's gonna withstand more scratches and more torture than any other traditional aluminium smartphone, and the back is ceramic made, which again means that it's gonna be really scratch resistant for an overall really premium experience in terms of hardware. And all of that is combined with internal hardware in the Snapdragon 835 processor, which is clocked at 2.45 GHz, a slightly faster speed than the Galaxy S8, alongside 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of flash storage. So you might think this is all standard stuff. Wrong. It's here that the questionable decisions of Essential really start to pop up, and you question yourself as to whether this phone is really essential to you. I should really stop with these puns. You don't find any sort of IP rating on this phone, so neither is it IP67 or 68 supported, which means it's not dust or water resistant, or it doesn't really mention if it is, and that's quite a bummer considering most smartphones these days, flagship smartphones, are IP68 or 67 at least, and for this phone to compete with the likes of the Galaxy S8 or the iPhone, it's gotta have that. And to add to that, the battery in itself is also not that very strong. It's a 30-40 milliamp hour battery, which I don't think is enough for such kind of power and that big screen on front. But would I call it a waste of space? Maybe not. And I really don't understand why manufacturers want to remove the headphone jack out of phones. Come on, it's 3.5mm in size, and for a phone that's around about 8mm, adding it wouldn't take that much of internal space, and for the actual simplicity and convenience it brings, why not? I'm gonna quote Andy on this because we're totally on a first name basis. He says, "Technology should assist you so that you can get on with enjoying your life." Well, trust me, when you forget that USB-C to 3.5mm headphone dongle during commute, you're not gonna be particularly enjoying life. And hey, at least Essential gives you the dongle out of the box, so a few brownie points there. Now, throughout this video, I haven't really mentioned the camera on the Essential PH-1. You're looking at 3 cameras. On the front is an 8-megapixel sensor, which in itself seems quite detailed with the megapixel count, but what's more impressive about it is the fact that you can record 4K video at 30 FPS on a front-facing camera. On the back, you've got a dual 13-megapixel setup, and the second camera is a monochrome sensor, which basically allows you to take better pictures at night. And yeah, that one too has 4K recording, but I'm not really sure on the optical image stabilization, so I'll put that up in the description down below whenever I find an update. But that's not what makes this phone unique. On the back, you also find magnetic attachers, 2 of them, that basically allow you to add mods to the smartphone, whether that's the magnetic charging pad or it's the 360-degree world's smallest camera. I don't know if it is, but it's kind of a neat concept, but it comes really close to kind of falling in that gimmick territory. I personally don't like mods. I would like modularity to be implemented, something like Project Ara. And because it's discontinued, people are swaying towards this kind of approach, which I don't think is a very nice one. Sure, you get that versatility and you can buy peripherals for an extra cost, but over the years, once you start using these peripherals, you kind of build up, and once you want to switch to a second phone or a phone that's not proprietary, it's gonna be really hard to recycle these mods and they're just gonna end up as a waste. So why invest so much into a phone or a mod when you can just buy a new phone for the price you're spending on the mods? Do you get it? Did I make sense? I'm not sure, but I just don't like mods. And yeah, this phone is priced at $699 in the US starting price, and with a bundle with the 360-degree camera, you get it for $749, which means the extra peripheral costs you $50. And at this price point, it's really not challenging the market in any way. First and foremost, this company is really new, and people aren't just gonna buy it because Andy Rubin made it. So to compete with the likes of the iPhone or the Galaxy S8, for example, you need to set your pricing a bit lower so people actually gather some attention. And I think OnePlus did that really well, but I think Essential is kind of missing the point, and they don't really have this wow factor on the smartphone to really attract consumers. And sure, they have different colors, but that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this phone in the comments down below. Are you excited? Are you gonna pick one up? Personally, I'm not really excited about it, but hopefully when I get it in my hand, my opinions change. And yeah, let me know if you completely disagree with me in the comments as well. Leave a like rating if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more in the future. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.